Tell me this though, man, because you could play in high school. We were talking about it earlier. We saw the highlights. Do you sometimes you watch these NFL games? You're like, man, I can do that. Yeah, I could have done that.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to sit here and disrespect you guys like that.
No, I wouldn't take it as disrespect. I wouldn't take it as disrespect. I wouldn't take it as disrespect.
Nah. I mean, yeah, I was pretty good in high school. I don't know how I would have went in college. Like I said, that first year when I got drafted by the Indians, the Indians back then, I was 255 pounds. I went home that offseason. When I came back in February, I was like 285, 290. So I'm telling you, if I show up on a college campus, I'm an offensive tackle right away. So, you know what I'm saying? Life might have been a little different. But, no, I mean, I appreciate what you guys can do out there. And, no, I mean, it would have been interesting, but I don't know if I could have played as long as I played in baseball and the NFL.
Man, 19 in football is insane. I mean, I look at like my guy Mercedes Lewis, though. He's doing it at tight end right now. He's in his 19th year. And, man, hats off to Mercedes. He's unbelievable throughout his entire career. I remember watching him over there in Jacksonville and just in awe that I'm still, he's still in the league doing it at the highest level, man.
Which is crazy.
A.J. Brown, Philadelphia Eagle himself, has said he can play in the MLB, stands on it every time he's been asked about it. Do you think he could touch anybody in the league?
You know what? I've seen AJ swing, and I've watched. He was like a pretty good player. I saw him do some perfect game. He went through like the high level perfect game stuff. So yeah, I think any guy like that played baseball for that long throughout high school has a chance to still play and swing a bat. You can see Donovan Mitchell, a guy like Donovan Mitchell. He can. He still swings. He can still play. I feel like Kyler Murray.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. He played baseball through college. I feel like
Pat Mahomes out there playing baseball.
Pat Mahomes. Pat was a really good baseball player.
Yeah,
and I feel like it shows up a lot in his football game. Just watching him, like he runs around out there, kind of like a shortstop. He's flipping the ball with both hands.
Isn't
and
it
shit.
crazy?
Like, he's throwing from every angle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I feel like a lot of the good quarterbacks are like that, where they're like. It's like the baseball effect where you can kind of throw from, all the angles.
Yeah, it's a whole nother skill set, really. He's just out there almost like a and-one basketball player, somebody that's at the park that really knows how to dribble just different or have their own version of it, man. We'll ask you this, what do you think the easier transition is, baseball to football or football to baseball?
I think it would be baseball to football. I think it would be harder to transition from from football to baseball. And this is even like for me when I got drafted, because I was a football player and I was just an athlete. I got drafted in the first round. Even when I got drafted, I was on the phone with Dan O'Dowd and I'm like, am I playing first base or am I pitching? Like I had no idea, you know what I mean? And in my mind, I was like, hey, I can go play baseball. I can take this $1 million. I can do this for 2 years and I can go back to college. Chris Winkie had just did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like there's guys, there was examples of me, like there was examples of guys that had took the baseball money and then went back to college to play football. And I was like, all right, so if this shit don't work out, then I can just go back and play football. And that was always my fallback plan. I think it would be a lot easier if you're doing both. If you pick baseball, you can always fall back to go play football.
We tried to have a fallback guy, Tim Tebow, do it not too long ago, man. Tebow is in the minors a little bit.
There have been some guys that have tried.
How difficult is it to get drafted and then immediately go into the minors?
It's extremely hard to, especially if from high school, right? Like, somebody like me, I was a guy, like I went from my mom washing my uniform after the game to like now I'm a professional.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is
that,
every single day. Like in high school, you're playing Tuesdays, maybe Fridays. And then when you turn pro, like I was 17 years old still. I didn't turn 18 until, 3 weeks after I got drafted. So I didn't know how to wash clothes. Like they just drop you off in the middle of North Carolina, and you're a pro. You got to figure out how to get to the ballpark. Man. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out how to manage your money. You got to figure out what you're going to eat, how much fuel you're going to have, throughout the day, how to work out, how to do kind of everything. So you go from being like an amateur and you're a pro, and it's just you and a bunch of other high school cats and 15 other Dominican guys that's trying, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all literally down there trying to figure it out. Like, it was a culture shock. It was a rough. I mean, the first 3 nights of my professional career, I cried home. I called home crying.
Wow.
I was like, do I have to, if I come home, do I got to get his money back? And my mom was like, you better stay your ass there.
Yeah, you ain't coming.
Good advice, Mom. Good advice, Mom. Good advice, Mom.
You are not welcome home.
Until the check clear. If the check clear, then you can come home. But it's pretty rough. Like, so that's why, I mean, I have a junior in college right now. He goes to the University of Houston. And I wanted him to get that college experience. I wanted him to be able to grow up, be a man before he entered that minor league, because, you know, he didn't have to make a decision I had to make. I had to make that decision because me and my mom needed the money. He didn't have to make that decision. He can grow up, you know, go out and play some college baseball, grow, mature, and then become a pro.
I hear you.